Okay. So as you can see on the screen, we have questions. I have written the answers along with the questions and with the diagram also. So I am coming with few 2 marks questions, then I will come to the diagrammatic questions. So first question, as you can see, what will be the value of degree of correlation? As correlation chapter, all points lie on a rising straight line, the correlation is perfectly positive. And second question is if all points lie on a falling straight line, the correlation is perfectly negative. So what will be the value of degree? So for first, it is a positive correlation. Answer is given. And for second, it is 0 to +1. It is the perfectly like a negative correlation thing is given. Now, yes or no? Positive or negative. So first statement will be positive. The value of coefficient of correlation will always be more than 1. That is negative. Then write down the formula of simple aggregate and average of price relative methods. That is PO1 is equal to summation P1 by summation P0 into 100. And simple average of price relative is PO1 is equal to summation P1 divided by summation PO or P0 into 100 divided by N. Now the Paasche index number is based on base year quantity, and second is it may be kept in the mind that base year should be normal year and economically stable year. So first statement is true, second statement is also true. Find out the two false statements about median. Median is the positional value in the middle of a series. The value of median lies below the range of the median class. Cumulative frequency is not taken into consideration for calculating the median. The upper value of class interval is considered as L1 of median class. So only the B and C is wrong statement. Both A and D is correct. It is related to median. So in a production process, more units of labor are used in proportion to capital, that is labor intensive. And when more unit of capital is required in place of labor, it is capital intensive. Now draw the PPC diagram on touching both the x-axis and y-axis. PPC I have not drawn yet. And the shape of PPC, okay, it is yes or no you have to write. So does the PPC diagram touches both the x-axis and y-axis? Is it yes or no? PPC touches both the x-axis
Yes.
and y-axis because it is like this curve shape. So it touches both the x-axis. The shape of PPC is convex to the point of origin. No, it is concave. Now draw a PPC. Okay, underutilization, this yes has come here. So this is no need. Okay, so draw a PPC curve for growth and underutilization. So curve I have not drawn. This is one question is given, complete the missing data. So missing data in the question was this place. I am changing the color so that we can identify. So this place is the missing data in the figure. So all these things are given. MRT, you know, marginal rate of transformation. When one product is sacrificed in order to produce another product is known as MRT. So as you can see, we have given means in the question it is given 16.0 dash 14.11 12.22 dash 3.3 5.4 dash and 0.55. So as you know that when the production of one product is increasing, the another production for another product is decreasing. As you can see, 16, 14, 12, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now how we can identify this thing by the rate of transformation. When the butter has increased to third unit, 3 unit of gun has decreased. So 12 minus 3 will be 9. This is the method of calculation. Similarly, 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. So the next MRT will be 4. We can calculate it like this. Now, this is the diagram of gun and butter. It is also given to draw, schedule, and also mention the formula of MRT, and the diagram is also there. So this is the diagram of gun and butter. It will be like this. Then MC cuts dash point of AC, then MC dash. So when MC cuts AC's point, then MC will be increasing. So now draw AC and MC curve in a single diagram. So we have MC, AC, and ABC in the single diagram: marginal cost, average cost, and average variable cost. Now a shape of MC curve lies dash U-shaped. You can see the shape of MC curve is U-shaped, like this.
Ma'am, what are we solving?
We are solving sample question for, as I said, for few questions I will be solving, then I will be going for the chapter.
Okay.
So then U-shaped, and second question is, does AFC curve touches x-axis? No, AFC curve does not touches x-axis. Now, next question is, a supply curve is said to be unitary elastic when supply curve is straight line passing through the point OG. If the price elasticity of supply is more than 1, 10% increases in the price may result more than increase in quantity supplied. So what will be the increase? So here, when it is passing through the point of origin, it is written, and when it will be also increasing 10%, because you know price and supply has positive relation. When one will increase with whatever percent, the another one will also increase with the similar percentage. Now we have this is the diagram of infinity and ES is equal to 0. These are the two diagrams. This is infinity, ES is equal to infinity, and next ES is equal to 0. These are the two diagrams. Now, an increase in rate of taxes dash decreases the supply of commodity, and if supply of Mona Lisa painting an example of inelastic supply. Is supply of Mona Lisa painting is an example of inelastic supply? Yes. And increase in rate of taxes decrease the supply of commodity. Okay, next is, given the formula to calculate GNP, though you have not done this chapter, so I have only any two has to be done. So price, that is GNP, is equal to private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus DDCF plus change in stock plus net exports plus NFI. Calculate any two. So I have written any two formulas. First, I have written NNP at MP is equal to GNP at MP minus depreciation. Then NDP at MP will be GNP at MP minus depreciation minus NFIA. Third, GNP at FC is equal to GNP at MP minus indirect taxes. So I have to calculate NNP at MP. So with these methods, we can do that. Second is, okay, GNP at FC, you can see GNP at FC, GNP at MP minus indirect taxes. Next is NDP at MP. NDP at MP is equal to GNP at MP. So GNP at MP minus depreciation minus NFIA. And first, NNP at MP, that is GNP at MP minus depreciation. These are the formulas for calculating these things. Now, NFIA, current transfer, this is not required. Now fill in the missing components in the formula. So it will be private income, income from NDP at FC accruing to private sector plus NFIA will come here. This NFIA will be coming here. First, I have to erase this dash. Yeah, NFIA, I am changing the color so that you can identify. Plus current transfer from the government. This is current transfer from the government. So when we will be doing this chapter, the things will be more clearer to you. Maybe now it is not very clear what it is going on, what formula and what. So when we will be doing the chapter, it will be clearer. Okay, so next we are coming with, I am just coming with this question. I have not solved because this you can solve by yourself. As it is a question, you can copy the question. I think this question I have given to you once for solving.
Yes, ma'am, we've already done
Yeah.
it.
You have already solved this. I have given this. So again, I have brought the diagrammatic thing in front of you. Draw a diagram to show perfectly inelastic demand and unitary elastic demand. So this is perfectly inelastic demand and this is unitary elastic demand curve. So as you can see in the sample question, we are getting many diagrammatic questions. So it is very important that you should be knowing for the diagrams. Like the diagrammatic question will surely come. So you should know as many diagrams we did, you should be knowing about those diagrams. Then next we have the degree. The degree of elasticity on a straight line demand curve. So this is a demand curve and these are the various degrees of elasticity. As you can see, it is written on a linear demand curve. Elasticity decreases as the price falls and the quantity demanded increases. Demand is unit elastic at the midpoint of the demand curve. That is elasticity is 1. As you can see, it is in the middle of the curve and at price above the midpoint, demand is elastic. At points below the midpoint, demand is inelastic. Okay. So this is what we have. This is the calculation of price elasticity of, diagram of elasticity of demand. Now, this question, I think you remember this question. We have an unitary elastic demand. So what should be the price here? What will be the price here? So price is at 7. So 7 into 11, it will be 77.
70.
Yeah, 77. And similarly, 11 into 7, it will be 77. If you remember, this thing already we have done earlier also. This is the answer place, changing the color. This is the answer place, changing the color. So already this thing we have done. So as it is there in your sample question, so again I have repeated. Now enumerate 4 precautions that should be taken while estimating national income by income method. So these are the 4 precautions. Production for self-consumption should be included. Sale of second-hand goods should not. Commission paid to the broker for sale and purchase second-hand goods should be included. Then value of intermediate goods should not be included. Yesterday only we did this thing, value of intermediate goods. Income generated from illegal activities should not be included. So any 4 points you need to write. Now distinguish between intermediate goods and final goods. As you know, intermediate goods are those goods which are meant either for reprocessing or for resale. Goods used in production process during an accounting year are known as intermediate goods. These are non-durable goods and services used by producers such as raw materials, oil, electricity, coal, fuel, etc. Final goods which are used either for final consumption by the consumption or for the investment by the producer is known as final goods. So for example, bread, butter, biscuits used by consumers. So this is a final good. Simultaneously, these goods can also be intermediate goods also. Now define aggregate demand, AD. Mention its various components. So aggregate demand is the total demand. Whatever demand you have studied in micro, that is an individual demand. But when we consider every whatever segments are there in the economy, whenever we combine all those forces together, we are making an aggregate demand. So components of aggregate demand is C means consumption expenditure, I means investment expenditure, G means government expenditure, X minus M means net exports. If you remember the circular flow, there I have told you C means the household, I means the firm, G is the government, and X minus M is the external factor. Yesterday or day before yesterday, I told you about the circular flow. So whatever you have seen in that diagram, when we combine all four together, it will become an aggregate demand. And similarly, when we consider their supply, it can be money supply, it can be goods and services supply. When we consider that, it will become the aggregate supply for the economy. Okay. So last diagram is ADAS. As you see, AD, this is AD. And AD is always representing C plus I, that is consumption plus investment. This is the AS curve, 45-degree. This is the AS curve, supply curve. And this is the consumption curve. C. So this is a diagram of aggregate demand with income and output. And introduction of circulation of money. So before money, we were having barter system. So two disadvantages of barter system: lack of double coincidence of want, lack of common unit of measurement. Advantages: medium of exchange. Money has been introduced as a medium of exchange and measure of value. Now list out 4 factors affecting the price elasticity. Briefly explain these factors. So here only the 4 factors are given. Explanation, one sentence explanation you can do. It is up to you how you want to do one sentence explanation. So next we have, this is from here your 4 marks question is starting. Earlier which we were doing, all these questions are of 2 marks. So from here we are starting with 4 marks questions. Now what are the assumptions of law of supply? No change in cost of production, no change in state of technology, no change in climate condition, no change in government policies, price of related goods remains same. These are the various assumptions of supply. Now explain the law of supply. Law of supply, you know, when the price increases, supply will always increase because they have a positive relationship between price and quantity supplied. Now there are few more 4 mark question, as you can see. So though we have not done this market chapter and this monetary policy banking chapter, so I have not done with this. So I will be doing this with you all because already you know to solve this. So I have in the question we were having output, total cost and average variable cost. We have to calculate these. So as we can easily understand that whatever is there in total cost 0 unit, that will always be our fixed cost. So 40, 40, 40, 40 and 40. Now we are having average variable cost. We need to get total variable cost. So what is the formula for average variable cost? Total variable cost divided by number of units. So if we want to get total variable cost from average variable cost, what will be our formula? Average variable cost multiplied with total output unit. So average variable cost for first unit, we will have nothing because nothing is there. Second unit, 20 into 1. 20, like for first output, 20 into 1, 20, 18 into 2, 36, then 16 into 3, that is 48, and 16 into 4. How much? 64. Isn't it? All are sleeping or what? 16 into 4, how much? 64, yes. Now, average cost, how we can calculate AC? We can calculate AC by TC divided by Q. So now from here, we can get our TC. So this is our TVC and this is our TFC. Only adding this, we can get our TC. So 40 plus 20, 60. Then we have 40 plus 36, that is 76. Then we have 40 plus 46, that is 86. Then we have 40 plus 64, that is 104. So now we can
Ma'am,
get our, yes,
isn't 16 into 3 48? 16 into
60,
3
48.
into
Oh,
3
so I
48.
have told 48, I have written 46. Okay. So now AC, TC divided by Q. So 40 divided by 0, infinity or anything we can write. 60 divided by 1, 60. Next, 76 divided by 2. It will be in the 2 3 the 6 and 7. 2 3 the 6. 33.5 it is. Decimal. Then 86 divided by 3, it will also be decimal, I think. 3 2 the 6, that is 2 will come, and 3, then 26, 3 8 the 24, and again 2 will come, so 28.6, and 104 divided by 4, 4 2 the 8, then 24, it will be 26. 26, 4 6 24. Yes. Okay. Now MC, TCN minus 1. First unit, nothing will be written. Second unit, 60 minus 40, 20. Then 76 minus 60, 16. Then 86 minus 76, 10. 104 minus 86. How much? It will be 18. How much it will be? 14 minus 6 will be 8, and that will be 9. So 104 minus 86. 14 minus 6 will be 8, and that will be 9. Okay.
40 plus 48 is
104 minus 86. 104 minus 86. So it will be 8, and then, sorry, what has opened?
no, ma'am. In the output unit 3, the answer is 88. No,
Output unit answer is 88.
yeah, ma'am. 40 plus 48 is 88.
Okay, okay. Which one you are saying? This?
The third unit, ma'am. 40 plus 48.
Okay, 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 okay. Okay, 88. Yes, yes. Oh, it was earlier, it was written 46. Okay, 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 okay. So, so answer will be 14 minus 8 will be 6, and that will be 9. So 16. So okay. So we have solved this. So now we can come to the